Feel Good Expert. Thank you for your feedback. I needed a distraction. So I'm here to talk about astrology and human design with you guys for funsies. Anyways, yeah, back to my intro. Welcome. My name is Tangi. I'm a human design teacher and coach. I use human design to help you feel good, or at least feel a little better. That's why I call myself the Feel Good Expert. You can find me at the Feel Good Expert across all platforms. I will not DM you. Be careful out there. I also call myself the Feel Good Expert because I'll never tell you anything limiting, inhibiting, or dogmatic about this system. I simply use human design as a language and a context for describing energy patterns. And I do that by giving you foundational knowledge and practical tools with real life application. My favorite tool is my website. It's the feelgoodexpert.com or feelgoodhumandesign.com. They both direct to the same place. And that is where you can pull your chart absolutely free. So if you're looking for an on-demand free mini reading, that's the place to get it. All the videos on this website are by me. So you type in your birth date, exact time and location, feelgoodhumandesign.com, and then every single one of the chart properties will direct you to a free video explanation that explains every corner of your chart. If you want to dig a little deeper, I have a personalized report in the $20 range, and I also have a lot of videos on that. And if you want to go even further, I have a course called the Human Design Starter Kit, where you can learn the foundations of human design. And guess what? Hi, Melanie. Guess what? Exciting news. I have another offer coming based on popular demand. Okay, so I've covered all the foundational stuff, how to read your chart, how to read other people's charts. And now I'm going to start covering transits, how to use human design and astrology to understand the energies of what is here now and what is coming next. Guess what it's called, you guys? Please, I need your feedback because me and ChatGPT brainstormed on this for like an hour. And I am so glad ChatGPT doesn't have feelings, because I would feel terrible if I had this conversation with an actual human, because I'm like, nope, not that. Nope, not that. And he gave me like 50,000 ideas. Anyways, the name of my transit teachings is called the Feel Good Wheel. I like it. I love human design too. Hi, Desiree. Let me catch up on some comments. I was talking. Hi, Chris. It's cute. Thank you. Melanie says she loves it over on YouTube. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Hi, Molly. Thanks for the follow. Okay. So anyways, I have free resources all over the freaking place on every single social platform that exists. I have an instant PDF download to learn more about your chart. I have a course to learn how to read charts. And now I will also be teaching transits based on invitation, based on what you guys asked me to do. And I come live here, one, because I like it. I love talking about human design. Human design is a synthesis of 4 ancient systems. So if you're into esoterics, if you're into ancient wisdom, if you're into astrology, the I Ching, if you're into divination, crystals, numerology, you're going to love this, okay? Because human design is a synthesis of 4 ancient systems. We use Western astrology, the Chinese I Ching, the Hindu Brahma chakra system, as well as mystical Kabbalah. And if you're brand new to human design, I'll tell you where you see these things. If you know any of these systems, right, you can find yourself in this chart. So Western astrology, you're going to see all these glyphs represent the same planets and placements. It'll be the same as your natal chart. It's not in competition, and there's nothing like that disagrees with what you know of astrology, okay? The I Ching is in these numbers. There's 64 hexagrams in the I Ching. Human design has 64 gates. You'll find the same basic chakra energy in these big shapes, okay? So like in the chakra system, there's typically 7, but in human design, we believe that 2 of them split, so we have 9. And then what did I miss? Kabbalah. If you've seen the Tree of Life, this basically looks like an upside down Tree of Life. We have these paths that teach you how to manage your energy well. Human design teaches you how to manage your energy and your aura and how to make decisions that are correct for your aura. You can pull your chart for free anytime on my website, feelgoodhumandesign.com. It's linked in my bio. You just need your birth date, exact time, and location. I've been studying this system for almost 7 years. I can't believe it. Like when I first started, I didn't think the 7 years would ever come. Seemed very far away. But by next spring, 7 years in my experiment, I can't, it's mind blowing. So super fun stuff. Ask me anything about human design, astrology. I don't typically do like live chart readings in my lives just because one, it drains my energy a lot. But two, I have free on-demand mini reading on my website. So that covers that base. And then come and ask me advanced stuff while I'm live. That's what I want to talk about. You know, I want to get into the like nitty gritty of this. Just learning about 5-2 and then your video pops right up. Yay! We love a 5-2. It must be a very interesting experience for you though. Hi, Erin. You know, who has watched the Martha Stewart documentary? She's an emotional manifester. And I love how everything lines up with the way that she is and the way that she expresses herself and her closed aura and her life story. The other thing that I always use Martha Stewart as an example for, way before she had this documentary out, is her incarnation cross. She is the cross of the 4 ways. And this is a person who has mastery over the pivot. They get to like get really deep into one subject and then pivot to the next one and pivot to the next one. And it's fascinating to watch. They live life in these 18.6 year cycles. How do you use human design in your day? Give examples. Yeah, JSauce says 4 ways. Yes, I'm live on both TikTok and YouTube right now. If I'm like this, looking back and forth. 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm a projector. I want to use my energy well. So how do I use human design on a day-to-day basis? I mean, number one, any human design teacher will tell you it's strategy and authority. So understanding your aura, your auric type and shape, and then making correct decisions based on that. And that's like a guiding principle for my day-to-day life and how I show up and how I manage my energy. Easy stuff. I use human design for my business and making specific decisions around that and narrowing down my marketing and my messaging and my ideal client. Like I refer back to my chart all the time. I'm very introspective about it. So I'll get my first like instinct on, okay, this is what I need to do or want to create. And then I'll kind of look at it again and look at it from another angle. But I don't change the overarching path of who I am and where I'm going and how I'm doing it. I just kind of look at these nuanced details. I also use human design relationally and for communication very often. If I know what type I'm talking to, I speak to them based on their specific energy and their strategy. So like if I know I'm talking to a generator and they're waiting for something to respond to, I will provide them with options. I will ask them yes or no questions. I will gauge and measure their level of enthusiasm and excitement in our conversation, and I will reflect it back to them, and I will ask them questions because I'm a projector. If I'm talking to a manifester, there's a lot of informing. Hi, Bailey. Speaking of manifester, I'm a left angle cross of refinement. Oh, my son is cross of refinement too. Hi, Carla. I thought you would be on calls. Me and Carla talked for 2 hours this morning. Carla, I'm glad you're here. I came up with a name. That's what I was doing. Since we got off our call, I ate some lunch and then I was like, okay, this needs a name. And then I can start on my landing page and then I can start on my Came up with a name. Is there anything in human design that talks about your health? Yeah. I mean, the whole left side, that's your physical body side. So that's going to be like what you've inherited as well as the arrows on the left side are going to be digestion and environment arrows. So that's very much physical. Oh, anyways, Carla, I told everybody at the beginning, but you weren't here yet. The Feel Good Wheel. That's how the Feel Good expert talks about transits. It's called the Feel Good Wheel. And the group will be called The Feel Good Wheel Keepers. My little Wheel Keeper Society. Loves it. Me and ChatGPT, we had a field day. I don't have TikTok. Yeah. Yeah. Nowadays when I go live on both TikTok and YouTube simultaneously because I know I have an engaged audience on both. Instagram, I'm still working on Instagram, trying to make it my friend, but not yet. We'll get there. Welcome for anyone who's just joined. My name is Tangi. I'm a human design teacher and coach. I use human design to help you feel good or at least feel a little better. And Jay Sauce on YouTube has mentioned, like, this is a great distraction from the election. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing here. Distracting myself. And I feel like I got like an influx of viewers at the beginning because I just made a post about like, put a finger down post. And then they were like, wait, she's not talking about politics. I'm going to go. But yeah, it's all part of our cycles. It's all part of the energy. So I don't like freak out about anything because what's going to happen is going to happen either way. And I don't mean like the future is predestined, but I mean the energy that will show up is going to show up, right? Like if something needs to be destructed or deconstructed, it will be, no matter who's in charge. But it's just the energy that that person brings with their aura as to how it will happen, but it will still happen inevitably. Hi, Kyle. The election is the distraction. Knowledge of self is important. Yes. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you. Thank you for summarizing that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, my FYP has like turned so political so quickly. I didn't even know that could happen. But it was a natural evolution from the things that I was consuming. The funny thing is, like, I'll get it fixed to where it is like knowledge and education and science and the solar system and astrology, like the things that I actually am interested in. Hold on, I think my friend needs to check if I'm alive. Oh no, it's not. But then it'll inevitably come back to these like polarities and this like really divisive stuff, and we can't help but engage in these things that like trigger us. So yeah. Have you taken apart the two candidates charts? I did some videos on them actually a while back. It's kind of fascinating, like how they show up according to their energy. And I even did like a connection chart between the two of them, like just, for funsies, if they were to ever work together, what would that be like? If they were ever in the same room, which I did like pre-debate, what would that be like? And yeah. But yeah, everybody expresses their design without even knowing it. This is actually Ariana Grande behind me because I had to look up her chart. I saw this video came up on my FYP that was like, Ariana Grande is a shapeshifter. And I was like, well, I'm going to stitch that. I bet she has an open G center. I didn't even know. I had never pulled up her chart before. And I pulled up her chart and it's an open G center. And I'm like, the human design is human designing. So we shapeshift and we take on the identities of those nearest us when we have that center open or undefined. Hi, Sylvia. So, yeah, can't help but be your chart. But there is a lot of nuance of, lived experience. And also, like, I think that the astrological natal chart and being able to see the zodiac signs and houses is kind of indispensable to this process as well. And I knew that, and I felt like something was missing as I was studying this body graph chart. I just kept going, but I also want to see the signs, but I also want to see the houses. And so my advanced reader software allows me to do that. It expands it out. But yeah, astrology is like the map. Okay, here's where you're generally going. And then human design is like the actual magnetized energy that takes you through that map. The magnetic monopole is what we call it. Thanks for the likes. What's it like to be a projector in success? I don't have the bitterness because I quit my job, but I'm craving success. For me, it feels like success in guidance, right? So, like someone invites me and wants my specific knowledge or expertise to give them direction. I'm a cross of the Sphinx, right? They feel lost, they need direction. They invite my guidance, I give them guidance, and they're like, oh, that's great guidance. I like that. That's helpful. I feel clear. I know where I'm going. That's what success feels like to me. Material success is a really hard one with my fully open ego center. But like if I just randomly have a reading and someone's like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. I know exactly where I'm going, or I feel so validated in where I was already going. That's what my success feels like. Yep, they express their design whether they know human design or not. That's why it's pretty funny seeing the human design community deconstruct each other with so much. I know, it's very entertaining for me. I mostly just observe. I mostly just observe as people pick each other apart. Sometimes I can't help but say something, but most of the time I just pull back. Big fan, been watching you for a while, bro. Any tips on taking my first BBC? Yeah, I'm not a bro. My son does call me bro though, which is hilarious. How do I? Sorry, I'm like trying to. I can't even say the name of that account without getting blocked myself. Trying to mute that person. Trash Queen. I love that name. Yeah, the projectors page, like the Facebook groups for projectors, are maybe the most bitter places I've ever been in my life. It's hella entertaining. I hate that I keep getting kicked out, but when I'm there, I'm thoroughly entertained. Hey, I saw someone talk about line 2 and the connection to fluids in the body. It sparked my interest because the lady described line 2 benefits from yoga and drinking more fluids. That is interesting. That is beyond my scope. I have never heard that before from any source info. Not saying it's not there. I haven't found it. I haven't found my way to that knowledge yet. I have a question about being a projector that's focused on the other, but also being a self-absorbed 1-3. Welcome to my life. I am focused on the other by providing foundational knowledge and practical tools. But other people don't guide and direct my purpose and my identity, aside from my undefined G center. But you know what I'm saying? Like what I offer and how I offer it is rarely like redirected as it would be through a transpersonal cross. I still am really like fixated on my little thing. Foundational knowledge, that's line 1. Practical tools, line 3. So that's how I guide. But it has always been very clear to me that I do not guide by like taking on other people's stuff or trying to heal it for them or even like holding that energy for longer than we are in container with each other. My thing is foundational knowledge. Never liked Ariana Grande, and now I see I have a very similar. Don't you hate it when that happens? Don't you just hate it when that happens? That was my experience too. It's not that I knew someone who had a chart similar to me and I disliked them, although I could immediately name like Teal Swan, who's a reflector, and my chart only has 2 defined centers. But I just saw people with more definition, like manifesting generators, for example, I saw people with charts like that to be inherently just more valuable than me. And I wanted to be close to them because they had something that I didn't, that I felt like I needed and wanted. If that makes sense. Hi, Daisy. 3 is foundational knowledge. 3 is practical tools and real life application, experimentation, trial and error, sharing your experiences and your tools. The 1 is the foundational knowledge. Yeah, we always want what we don't have, which is why I literally cannot decide. I feel like this is like an integral, like life-changing moment for me in my life and my path and my direction. I can't decide what color my hair is supposed to be. Do I go with my natural color or do I go with the blonde color? I'm sitting here like literally like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like half and half. What do I do? Feel free to borrow my fully defined ego. I absolutely would and absolutely will. Please let me have it. I've been using Carla's. I don't know if she's still here, but I've been using Carla and her defined ego center. And I have a friend, a close friend, and also one of my kids. Your hair looks pretty like that. Thank you. You know, I thought I'll just go to my stylist and be like, I like it like this. Just like blend it a little and cut it, but don't do anything crazy. We'll see. Because I just can't decide. My fully open G center is looking for a friend. Somebody love me. I'd love to do some celebrity breakdowns. Let's do it. Like live on YouTube. Just please like message me somewhere where I can like refer back. Instagram DMs and email. Where else? Something like that. Because I won't remember. No offense. Hi, Ara. I was just talking about how Martha Stewart's an emotional manifester. If you watch her documentary, you might relate to her story. I looked up her chart. Hold on. I think I still have it open. There it is. Martha. She's a fascinating lady. And she is absolutely living her design. Absolutely. She's a 4/6 emotional manifester. But her Venus is in her 10th house in Virgo. If you know, you know. I hope it's okay. I'm asking these questions. How did you transition from having a regular job to having a platform? Hey, I put in there, ask me anything. I didn't put any limits. So yeah, I love answering questions. Hi, Melissa. Oh, she has the same birthday, August 3rd, I think it was. Yeah, a really fascinating life story. I love it. Okay, how did I transition from a regular job to having a platform? So, not the typical transition. First of all, I just was never good at having a job. I am not good at like being told what to do. My energy is like super inconsistent. I just didn't have that built in to want to be successful in like corporate life or a job. It just was never, ever there. There was nothing I could do to make myself. But I did work in banking when I did work. And that's only because my sister got me the job. She referred me in. Otherwise, they wouldn't have hired me. I'm a terrible, terrible employee. Just literally the worst. I started working when I was 14. I got a job at the grocery store, making, I think, $4.15 an hour. And then had a few different, really strange jobs as soon as I was old enough. And finally, like college age, I got, I don't know, I think I was like 20. I got a job at the bank and I stayed in banking for a good like a decade. And it was absolutely soul sucking. Okay. But the reason I transitioned out of the workforce is because I had a child who was very much planned, and my ex and I agreed that I would only have a child if I could stay home with that child. I did not want to do daycare. I did not want to do public school. I was like, that's the deal. I'm not going to work. I'm going to take care of the kid, and that's going to be my thing. And he agreed. And then I had a second child. But all this time, I always had like little side gigs. I am very entrepreneurial. I always was testing out things on the side, even when I had a 9 to 5 job, even having babies and kids, always was trying to do something, trying to get something started. And so it wasn't until things didn't go quite as planned, as life is, when I was 35, I think 35, 36, that my ex and I were no longer going to be together. And I had to find a means for creating income. So I just went all in. Just went all in on showing up, because social media is free. To pay like a marketing agency costs money. And so I'm like, well, I can just do it. I'll just do it myself. So I went all in, showing up consistently for myself and my own business. I'm 40, so 5 years ago. And then in the last 2.5 years, so 5 years ago, I just kind of became a coach. And in the last 2.5 years, I niched down into more spiritual coaching, spiritual entrepreneurship, human design, and astrology. And so if you know what you're going to talk about and who you're talking to, you'll be successful. You'll have a platform. People will want to hear what you have to say because you've practiced it. NZ is New Zealand. That's like one of my favorite accents in the world. I hardly work since COVID. Yeah, I mostly consider myself like retired. I don't do a lot. I do, but I don't. And I only do things that I really want to do, that feel very, very aligned for me. And if it doesn't feel aligned, same as working corporate, I just can't. Body won't go. That's like one of my favorite quotes of myself. It's something I say all the time. Like, love it. Great idea. Sounds excellent. Body won't go. I just can't make myself. It's like I'm frozen in place. Hi, Laura. Body won't go. Splenic authority. That's our splenic authority mantra. Body won't go. Because I can get like mentally super stimulated. Like, I want to learn all the things. I want to do all the things. I want to be a motivational speaker, bazillionaire. You know, my mind and all my not self field day. But the spleen is like, we can't sustain that. We can't sustain that. You think you can, but you cannot. You will burn out. Hi, Santana. My face says it all. I know. I can't help it. Literally. Samantha, where do I look for my profile on my chart? It'll be a number, a slash, and then another number. I'm talking about my authority right now, by the way. If you're new to human design, splenic authority, a projector, a 1-3 splenic projector. Anything about the 4-1? It sounds great. I know, it's catchy, isn't it? I quit both my jobs. I asked people at my job How can y'all get up and come here and do this? Literally, it's maddening. I can't. Watching from bed at 11 a.m. If I don't. Dude, I should put that on a t-shirt, right? I should. 4-1. Oh yeah. Well, it's a transitional profile is what we call that. So it's one of the rarer. We have 12 potential profiles that you can have in human design. 6 of them are more common. 6 of them are less common because we have this common profile and then we have this little window of time where we transition out of that one into the next one. And so a 4-1 is one of the transitional profiles, much less common, but it is 2 foundational numbers. Oh, you've done over 200 people's human design? Hi, Gabe. Yes, benefits of the Open G Center. It's 2 foundational lines. Okay, so you have this conscious foundational line. You're consciously aware of how much people and relationships mean to you. And then you have this unconscious foundational line that says like, and I need like a foundation of knowledge and I need information. And so 4-1s and 1-4s I see become very obsessed with like psychology and understanding how people work, especially in the context of relationships. Give me all the information to understand the connection. I'm collecting data and plan on writing a book one day. I love that. I need to start working on my book. That's one of my 2025 goals, is to write a book. I'm excited about it. It's inevitable. I'm a Gemini North Node. I have hope, motivation, and sometimes it feels crazy. Is it normal to be like that? Should I fix it? Oh my gosh, same, Natasha. I feel insane. Like I feel like I'm in a existential crisis, spiritual awakening, like every day of my life. But then I'm like, everything's working out. Everything's going to be fine. Let's just be Delulu. It'll be fine, right? It's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. Oh, you're also Gemini North Node. 11th house. Mine's 10th. There you go. But it's nothing to fix per se. If you are trying to fix, then you are in your transference. You're in guilt motivation. That's literally what guilt motivation does. It tries to fix things. So if you can throw your hands in the air and just go with the flow, that's hope. If you look at it and you're like, something's wrong, must fix. Something's wrong, must fix. That is the not self or the transference of hope. And hope is the second line. It's very flowy. It's very intuitive, very natural. Too solid. Hello. Functional Joe, thank you for the gifts. Let's be best friends. How's hope different from innocence? So hope still has like this activity, like this energy toward the flow of things. Innocence is like, I throw my hands in the air. Good, bad, or otherwise, I don't care. Does that make sense? Do you want me to expand on that? You're a Sphinx. Yes. My G center is not defined, but I do have a lot of activations. But it didn't end up being defined. I have one channel. It's called the Channel of Struggle. Root to spleen. We want to lean into hope. You want to lean into everything's working out, very much like present moment, very intuitive, very serendipity. Not something's wrong, must fix it. You'll just feel mentally bad. It'll impact your mental health. Doesn't mean never do anything. Doesn't mean don't take like inspired or aligned action. Don't take action from a place of guilt. Take action from a place of hope. Yeah, root to spleen, individual channel. Is that for the 2-4? Which part? People come to me for hope. I realize that. I might not always be like fully aligned with my own motivation, but I know people see that in me when I actually show up on a platform or in public. That's what Carla was telling me this morning. Like there's this certain like motherly guidance. I just don't want to be old. Just the struggle. I'm a 1-3 with the struggle. I have innocence and that makes perfect sense. I know. People with innocence motivation drive me nuts. I'm like, no, let's do something. I mean, let's be happy about it, but let's do something. And they're like, nothing to do. You are very appealing. I don't know what you mean by that. What's the difference between projectors and manifestors? So they're both non-sacral. That's what they have in common, that they don't have a defined sacral, but a projector will never have a motor to throat connection. So we have 4 motors. Neither manifestors nor projectors can have a defined sacral center. So that's now you only have 3 options as a non-sacral being. And so a projector can have root, solar plexus, or ego defined. They can, but they cannot have that in direct communication with the throat center. So it's taking action with energy, combining action and energy. Projectors don't have that because they need to kind of pull back a little and absorb other people's energy so that they can guide. Manifestors don't need to do that. They need to close other people out to an extent so that they can initiate, so that they can get something started. They combine energy, motorized energy, with action. Projectors, no, can't have a motor to throat connection. That's like body graph language. Like if you want me to tell you just like the general like auric differences or personality differences, I can tell you that too. Hi, Brooke. When I find myself getting obsessed with going after what I desire, that's when I know I'm off course. Yeah, because that's your transference. Desire is the transference of innocence. That makes sense, Celeste? Mine is guilt. I'm learning to listen to my authority before jumping to help. Now I learn my lesson. Yes. Dude, it's hard. I have one of my best friends and my oldest son are both guilt motivation, and they put me into transference so bad. And I'm sure the other way around too. Like, I feel like I really like messed up my friend's head, like with my toxic positivity. And she like took it on. Like she's in Delulu land with me, but she's guilt motivation. And I'm trying to pull her back out because I know what happened. Oh, my son, like you can't touch him. He's a manifestor. Like he's just tunnel vision. Fear. Can you explain the hanging gate coming from an undefined center? Not sure how to work with that. Hello, welcome. And then I also have someone asking about the 6-2 profile. So I'll talk about hanging gates first, and then I can talk about the 6-2 profile. I was going to say I have 6 viewers on each platform. So you guys need to hit the like button a little more, okay? That's a little low for me. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, a hanging gate in an undefined center, okay? This is where you're magnetic or electromagnetic. You have that energy natally, and it also depends on if it's consciously or unconsciously defined for you. So whatever number shows up in that hanging gate, you either find it on the left side or the right side or both. But anyways, it's like this is my favorite analogy, metaphor, I don't know. It's like a little plug hanging out, just waiting. It's like an appliance with this little plug just hanging, waiting to be plugged into a wall, into an outlet. It's useless. The appliance is absolutely useless. Like think of a blender. Like you can pour all the almond milk into it and press all the buttons, but if it doesn't plug in, useless. It's just there. It's just an appliance that you have. That's your undefined center. And as soon as that hanging gate plugs into the harmonic, new energy is available. You have the sustained energy from the wall, And then you have the new energy from the appliance, and it's like, oh, this is exciting. And so you have to know your little like plug that's just hanging out, waiting to connect. Like people can feel that, they get drawn into that. There's nothing you can do outside of a transit or a connection with that. You just can't make it be. It just, there's no energy source. But as soon as you start looking at lunar cycles and transits, you can understand when that, and this is what I'm about to be talking about. This is my newest course that I'm going to do, is transiting energy and how to work with it. As soon as you're aware that it's coming and you know, oh, this is the day I can plug in my blender. Now you're like, cool, I get to play with this energy, I get to work with it, and then I get to release it when it leaves. I'm not attached to it, and thus I'm not disappointed. Or in connection, right? In relationship. So I was talking about how Carla and I are working together, and I have an open ego and hers is defined. I get to play with that like energy that she has for money, for materialistic endeavors, for managing money, creating money, scaling, right? Making offers, valuing things, valuing myself. I get to play with that energy, and it's hers. I know that. I know that I'm amplifying that. And when she leaves, I'm like, cool. I was able to create a whole system of strategy from that energy that she naturally creates. And now it can just live on as its own entity. But I don't have to lose my self-esteem and my value when someone with a defined ego leaves my life. Not that she's like going to leave my life permanently, just like that specific coaching container. Hi, Tara or Tira. I've been tracking lunar transits as a Cancer rising itself. Yeah, I bet. I feel like a mini reflector with the moon ruling my chart. Yeah, that's definitely one of the things that we're going to talk about, because the lunar transit is the fastest. So that is your shortest path to understand all 12 signs and the energy that's there and what it feels like, and all 64 gates, because the moon is going to transit that whole wheel every 28 and a half days. It's the fastest, shortest route. So we'll zoom in on that, but then we'll zoom out and say, okay, and now the moon's going to go through this sign, and then this sign, and then this sign, and then this sign. I'm just going to go round and around and around, and that's how life is. I'm very much Mercury ruled, if you couldn't guess. I have an MG son, and he would go away from me, and it was so hard being projector. What is that about? What is it about the MG that benefits the projector? I mean, it depends on your definition. I like MGs because I don't have a defined sacral or a defined throat, and they will always have a defined sacral and a defined throat. I like when that energy shows up. Oh, let me talk about the 6-2, okay? So profile numbers are so fun because they really do tell us a lot about the role that we play in our lives and in connections and in, our offers, all of those things. And so the first number in your profile, the one before the slash, is the part you're conscious of. You're like, yeah, that's me. That's who I am. And then the second number, the one after the slash, is really what other people see in you, more than you can see in yourself. So I'm a 1-3. I'm conscious of, like, I think I'm an expert. I think I'm an authority, right? I think I'm really smart. Like, I tell myself that all day. But what other people see on the outside is like challenge, failure, but resilience. I'm going to hit the wall, but I'm going to get back up again. Like, I'm just not going to stop. People see that in me. Like, they'll see, of course, my foundational knowledge, my expertise, because I talk about it. But what's most evident and obvious is my resilience, is my story as a 1-3. So if you're a 6-2, you live the first 30 years of your life as a third line: trial and error, challenges, try and fail, experimentation, making and breaking bonds. And then you start to evolve out of that and turn experience into wisdom. So that's your mental state. Really hyper aware of challenge, resilience, getting back up again, failing upward. And then your unconscious, what other people see more often if you're a 6-2, that second line is very like intuitive, natural wisdom. I've got gifts and I don't even know where I got them from. They just came in with the body. Design side. So this role model hermit actually makes a really good role model. First of all, because they've perfected their own mental health game. Second of all, because they're able to pull away, integrate their lessons, and then come back with both experience and natural wisdom. Crystal, I don't know if you were here, but my sign that my spleen is talking to me is body won't go. That's my number one favorite quote. Body won't go. That sounds really good. That's mentally stimulating. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh my God, I'm so motivated. Body won't go. Spleen doesn't say yes. Okay. The sacral says yes and no. The spleen doesn't say yes because it's not a motor. It doesn't have energy. It's an awareness. So it's mostly just no. That's not sustainable. That's not safe. That's not healthy. That's how the spleen talks. My voice in my head. That's not safe. My little lizard brain. You have a gorgeous smile. Thank you. I paid a lot for my braces. My parents were broke. I mean, like I was basically born in a trailer park. So I had to buy my own braces as an adult, like at 22, because I had bad teeth. Is your chart on your website my personal chart, or can you pull a free chart on my website? I'm trying to think, like, where would I have published my own personal chart? I probably haven't. Oh, you know where you can see it? I have a playlist called, and this is not self-promotion, but I have a playlist called $27 Personalized Report. And I'm showing my report in that playlist. And you'll see this page more often than not. So you'll see my whole chart. That's on, there should be videos of that on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram right now, because I've been posting those for weeks. That would be the easiest place to see my chart. Hi, Kat. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, what about a 1-4? So 1-4, I'm a 1-3, right? So I talked about the conscious, who you think you are. I'm an expert. I'm an authority. I know things. I'm smart. I'm a fast learner. I've got the foundations. I need the foundations, right? I need the reference tools. I need the research. I need the data. I need the info. That's mentally. But the unconscious fourth line is also like, and I need the support, and I need the people, and I need the opportunities, and I need the connections. So how can I research people and connections? But people will center you. If you're unconscious fourth line, people will look at you as their foundation more often than you look at them as your foundation, because you're looking at books. So you're like, wait, what do you want from me? I'm busy doing research right now. Had to come say hi. I finally see you're alive. I know it hasn't been too. It's because my kids are on a cruise with their dad. They're just they just interrupt me a lot. And I love going live, and I love just like going all in and losing track of time. And I don't lose track of time when my kids are here. It's like somebody's got to eat. Somebody's fighting somebody. We got to do this. We got to get them off devices. It's just, anyway. Personal chart. Okay, I answered that. I've noticed that for both profiles and Gates explanation in the Definitive Human Design book, there is a personal and interpersonal explanation. Can you help me understand what the difference is? Yeah. So this goes right back to what I was talking about with the profile numbers. Okay. If the profile number on the personality side, so if you're using my website, like the pink side, but just generally always the right side is the personality side. If that number is bigger than the number on the design side, then you have transpersonal karma. Because mentally, you are putting other people first most of the time. Not every single one lines up exactly like that, because we have transitional profiles and all kinds of like advanced human design stuff. But generally, you are mentally putting others first, upper trigram. And if it's personal karma, you're more introspective. You're more all about yourself, right? You're more putting yourself first, self-absorbed. first number is smaller than the second number, generally. But I feel like I have a module where I really laid that out. I think it's in the profiles module, and I showed like the whole chart of personal versus transpersonal. I help with littles. I completely understand. I know they're not as little as they used to be. Hi, Veronica. But they're still little enough to like need most things from me. My son, I got so sick, you guys. I got so sick. I put this in my newsletter. If you're not in my newsletter, get on it. If you haven't seen my newsletters because they're going to the promotions folder, please go take them out of the promotion folder or like star me or reply to it so that your email provider knows like to bring it back to your inbox. But I talked about how like a lot of crazy stuff happened when we had Gig 28 transiting the sun, and I got so sick. And my point of this story is that my son like had to make his own meal. I make them 3 meals a day at home because they are unschooled. And he had to make his own meal, like basically for the first time from scratch. Like he can make basic things. He can make some eggs. He can make some ramen. He can microwave things. Like, yeah, he can do kind of pre-prepared type things. But like he boiled water and made some spaghetti and like got the sauce. And he was just so proud of himself. So that's the level of dependence that my kids still have on me. If I don't show up and make them eat protein, like they'll just eat junk all day and play Fortnite. Speaking of, like I had this like awareness last night, and this is completely unrelated, but I just need to say it out loud so that it like integrates into my psyche. Yesterday, like I didn't do much. Like I just felt like really tired. I felt like really stagnant. I felt like a lot of anxiety over the election and like thinking about like going no contact with some family members who were like really mean to me about my choices. Anyway, I just kind of like stagnated and I got stuck and I just didn't do anything. And I felt like so mad at myself for not like taking full advantage of this time when I'm kid free. I could be so productive. I could get so much work done. Why didn't I do it? And I've been doing this practice of like, what would adult me say to kid me? If that was kid me sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing, what would grown up me come in and say? And most of the time, I need like compassion and tenderness and niceness, you know? But that time, for the first time, I was like, I needed someone to actually give me some like firm boundaries and say like, you don't know when enough is enough. So I'm going to tell you. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to get you out of this mode. I'm going to get you out of this cycle, which is something that I do for my kids all the time. And they hate me for it, but I'm like, sorry, it's my job to keep you safe and to show you boundaries and to help you understand what's good for you and what isn't and why, and how to make yourself the authority, but with that like underlying tone and voice that is not authoritative, but firm. This is what you need and you can't see it. And I was able to like go back to my like inner child in that moment and go, yeah, we don't always like, yes, we all need lots of compassion and love and safety and connection. But sometimes we also need like some firm boundaries, like someone to like be a little like lovingly tough on us. I'm hubby free for 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. I'm hubby free forever. I had a dream about that last night too. You guys, I have 0 degree Neptune. Like stuff comes to me. Spiritual awarenesses are just always all over me. Downloads and stuff. Thank you for the gifts. Hi, Goldie. I don't have new hair. I have old hair. I was talking about this. I don't know what to do with my hair. It's just grown out. What do I do? You are now seeing my natural color 9 months later. Anyone have an idea of what to do when facing eviction? I don't know if this is the right channel for that. So did you relax all day and do nothing? Or that productivity route kicked in? I have raised my minimum standard for productivity a lot. it used to be much lower. Like in my depression era, like I couldn't even do basic minimum stuff for me. Like feeding myself, going for a walk, working out. I can do basic minimum stuff. And so I actually have been productive since they left, but it's household stuff and not work stuff. And that makes me mad because I want to get ahead on some work stuff. But I was getting like my oil changed, my inspection, my registration. I have to replace my windshield. I have an SUV, so whatever angle that windshield is at, it's just like a rock magnet. It's probably the third time I've replaced the windshield. Anyways, groceries, meal planning and prep, like all that stuff, which is stuff I want and need to do and have to do. But then there's like a bazillion million other things I could be doing that I wasn't doing. But I even as I was sitting on the couch, I probably batched 5 videos for my TikTok. There's always more to do. So anyways, did I relax? Physically, yes. Mentally, no. I love your natural color. Thank you. I don't know. I just feel like it bores me because I've grown out my hair and just been my natural color multiple times, and I just get bored really, really fast of that. I feel like that with the downloads. I have 0 degrees Pisces, Lilith, 8th house, and open. Yeah. I have undefined crown and Ajna too. But I didn't even understand the 0 degrees Neptune, but I get some crazy dreams. But me, it's in Capricorn, so I'm like, and I want to work with them. How do I work with my dreams? How do I put my dreams to work? How do I analyze my dreams? How do I do things with the dreams? How do I bring dreams to earth? It feels mousy, but it looks great. See, I feel like it looks good in contrast because I have the blonde and then the dark, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to have my stylist like trim up my hair the tiniest tiny bit and just like touch up and maybe put like a little toner. Nothing too different because I dig it too. My hair is darker than you would have assumed. I have a painting of my paternal biological grandma at my door. She and I had like a little seance. I'm so weird. But she and I had a seance, and I said, I'm not going to put up your picture because I don't know you unless you agree to protect my house. She did. She has. Anyways, the point is, she has Native American blood, and her hair color looks like this. It's very dark. I need to get my full report because I need to learn more. Yes, I have mine sitting right here. Printing it out was the best thing I ever did. I don't know how that didn't occur to me at any point in the last 18 months. But I printed it out because actually one of my followers bought the report, printed it out, and was showing the printout on her account. And I was like, well, that's a damn good idea. And she's like, yeah, it's been so helpful. And I'm like, well, I'm going to do it too. And now I refer to it all the time. And I thought about maybe printing out reports for my friends and my kids, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. But yeah, you can get it instantly. So you get the data right away. And then you can print it out at home and put it in a 3-ring binder. I sent mine over to Staples and had them spiral bind it for me. But that's a little overpriced. But, depends on your preferences. I haven't shaved my head. I shaved my head after a flood in January. Oh, wow. I had a Britney Spears moment. Same, I have Native American too. Yeah, it's Blackfoot Indian tribe. Why no? Yeah, America. My kids make fun of me all the time for being super white. and pale on top of that. Like right now this is a fake tan. I can't tan. I have no melanin, none, surprisingly, in my skin. And my majority of my ancestry is Northern European. That's a great idea. I want to have my printouts for me to. Yeah, it is. It's really helpful. There's something I think maybe because I'm a millennial also, like there's just something about having something tangible and like touchable that makes it different. I printed and laminated mine too. Oh, yay. Thank you, Gabe. Love to hear that. My Mercury is in Capricorn 6th house. Mine's in Capricorn 5th house. Staples will spiral bind for you. Yeah. They have multiple choices for paper textures, for covers, for back color cover, for binding. They even have color options for the spiral bound. I'm just saying. I love me some Staples. I always get things printed at Staples. Capricorn moon. What do you know about how to navigate this? Yeah, very millennial to need physical copies of things. I need to go explore there. Yeah, I did everything online. Just go to their website and whatever you want to have printed, you just upload it. And typically you can just pick it up the same day. I'm very introverted. I don't like going into stores. Oh my gosh, speaking of, I'll answer the Capricorn moon, but Martha Stewart is Leo sun. Her documentary is just blowing my mind from an astrological and human design standpoint. But she's Leo sun, and her Leo sun is like right there on the 10th house cusp, and it's right on top of her MC, if you know astrology. And she came up with a business plan that was the solar system with her at the center. Like her little face was the sun of the solar system for her business plan. Like how much more spot on astrology can you get? And then she has like her 10th house is actually Virgo and her Venus is there. And like to be this like very feminine archetype as a business person, it's just tripping me out. I remember that because I have a night chart. So like all my placements are under the horizon and all of hers are, she's a day chart. So all of hers are above. And that's kind of like the whole introvert extrovert story. But I remembered her sun was right there. And I'm like, the hell? Like this is tripping me out. J.K. Rowling is also a manifestor 4 ways. See, like I know who J.K. Rowling is. Obviously, I think most of us do. But I haven't like actually learned much about the actual person, like the personality. Like I get like Harry Potter and all of that creativity, but like the personality of the person behind the author, you know? But it makes sense. It always. Everything aligns. That's what I tell Carla all the time. Everything aligns. Okay, Capricorn moon. Like, what do you mean? What do you do with it? Actually, what gate is it in? Sadly, I have to bounce out. Okay, glad you were here, Kat. Was happy to see you. And I will see you soon. I probably have to bounce soon too. I've been live for over an hour. I'm a manifesting generator. Anytime to talk to me about this. What do you want to know? I have like a full description of the manifesting generator type on my website. If you haven't used my website to pull your chart for free, it's going to cover all the basic stuff for you. But if you have a specific question about manifesting generator, I'm happy to answer it. Manifesting generator is like one of the most misunderstood. Like people just legit make stuff up about them. I'll go to the website. Okay, good. Perfect. I'm also curious about being a projector. Yeah. So my website, feelgoodhumandesign.com or the feelgoodexpert.com, it's linked in my bio. But I put together my website so that you could get a free on-demand foundational reading. So every single one of the chart properties underneath your chart links you to my social media post about your chart. So it's already organized for you. You don't have to go search through, playlists and videos to try to find the ones that relate to you. I linked the ones that relate to you and your chart specifically, all in the chart properties. So that's a great place to start, and it'll cover everything that you need to know. We've been talking about my personalized report. If you need something to refer back to, it's a little quick reference guide to everything that you learn about your chart. I have lots of videos about that too. But I was saying manifesting generators are so misunderstood because people legit just make stuff up. They're like, it's part manifester, it's part generator, respond and initiate and inform. And it's like, it's a generator type. It's a generator type. It's a little different than a generator, but it's still strategy to respond. It's a generator type at the end of the day, just a little bit more of an action-oriented generator. The strategy to respond is the same. Gonna get ready for our meeting. Good to see you. Glad you came. Thank you. Do questions cost money? No. I don't have the energy to do that whole exchange live. I'm so curious. I'm a projector too. Well, the Pluto thing is destroying CSP Moon, Leo Sun. There must be something I can do. I don't know what you mean. Oh, because Pluto is collectively moving into Aquarius? Is that what you mean? That's just basically if there was an aspect that Pluto was making, the transiting Pluto was making to your Capricorn moon, that's going to ease up when Pluto moves over a little tiny bit out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. Oh, do you like your mic? I like it when it works. Sometimes it just goes out, but all the lights are on and I have no idea that it stopped working. People have to tell me that my live suddenly got echoey. So when it works, the audio quality is pretty good. However, if money is no object, I would get a Rode. No. Like a Rode Mini. So this size exists with this brand. This is like a cheapo $15 Amazon thing. It is not as good or as consistent as a Rode mic, but I have a Rode mic sitting right here at my desk. I just cannot. It's not that I can't. It's not super easy to just connect it to my phone. And I'm using this mic for that live and this mic for that live. So that's why I have this little extra piece. But I'd get the Rode Mini if you want something like this. It's the best. The best of the best. And if you listen to our podcast, Brandy Yates and I have a podcast. I have the Rode right up to my face for that podcast. So if the audio quality of that is good, that's what that is. Hi, Ursula. Hi, Brianna. Your energy is draining. Thanks for reflecting that. I know. I feel it. Yes, Rode mic makes a little, I think it's just literally called the Rode Mini. Is that a USB Rhodesia mic? No, this one's not. Well, this one is Rode. This one is random. First thing I saw on Amazon that had decent. Just knocked over some stuff on my bookshelf. Oh, look, I have this one that's not even open. I was going to show you the box of this one, but I think I threw it away. And I have this one that's not even open. But either way, get the Rode Mini. Okay, well, I think Goldie said it best. it's time for me to mosey along. We have 1 hour left. You guys, no, 2. It's 5 Central. 2 hours left until voting closes. I don't think we'll get an answer today, although I wish we would. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Good vibes. Yeah, I'm glad you came. Thanks for coming to the live. Thanks for asking great questions. Thanks for staying. Thanks for telling me I have great hair and a great smile. You made my day. And I'll see you next time.